This man's a clown, bro.
We are in the middle of a game.
You have cubic zirconium on.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Woo, baby. Listen, hey guys, welcome to Little Black Bert 91. Let me just say this now. Look, anger is one of those emotions that really tells you that, you know, somebody has crossed your lines. Okay, your boundaries have been crossed. You know, you feel you've been unfairly treated. You feel like, you know, there might have been some disrespect that might have been placed in the situation. What we're seeing from Alexis, I mean, we hadn't seen that all season, right? We saw a very different Alexis than what we saw in this particular reunion. If I'm honest with you. My haircut, don't worry about that. We'll get a haircut. But it's just crazy to see her in a situation, the way that she went from 0 to 100. And whenever you see somebody, as I say, someone said crashing out, when you see someone so angry, it really is in this kind of way that in this moment she was triggered by something. Something triggered Alexis in this moment. Because all season long, yes, we've seen her get at the other ladies. Yes, we've seen you know, we've seen her behave with Coach Shia saying we can go there if you want to go there. We're not surprised about necessarily the fight. We're more surprised about the 0 to 100 in the way it went. So something has triggered her before this point in time. And I'm not saying that the cast are responsible. No. You are responsible for your anger and you're responsible for your response when you're in a situation. But we're going to really break down a couple of things because the way that she came out, it was so. And you know when I knew that she was so hot is the moment when Will went to speak to her and try to put his hand on her, and he couldn't do anything for her, right? And in that moment, she became unaccountable. In that moment, I'm just going to show you a little bit of a clip here. Watch this, right?
Right in the face.
Watch this.
All right.
Don't punch nobody in the you.
Can somebody get her?
Get your hands off of me. Get your hands off.
See, at this point in time, look, in this point in time, you know, in this point in time, when you watch her and you see this, right? Even Will comes over, tries to say, hey, look, let me just talk to you and calm it down. She says, get your hands off of me. When somebody's in that space where even their friend or the person who they defended or who they cared for is even telling you, I've told you, you've gone past 100. You are now at unconsolable and you are now at uncontrollable. When you are at that level, it's very different. Something has triggered you something from the past is now affecting your present. Because it's not just about what happened now. Right? When you get to a place where you are no longer able to be consoled by the people that you care about, because her and Will seem to have a good relationship, so much so that even Will, when he went to touch you, said, get your hands off me, it's like she flicked back into her childhood. I swear. Yeah? It's like whatever happened in that moment, the lights went off and she went into defend mode, which is a form of, well, she went into attack mode as a form of defense. Okay? Now, when you're in that place, it's because something in your childhood has wounded you and you have not recovered from that wound. And it's literally been there for a very long time. It just needed the right environment and the right set of conditions to place you there. That level of anger where you can't be consoled or told nothing and you go into a blind rage is because you've not dealt with something in your childhood. And listen, I thought when her and Koshia went at it, we all thought Koshia was moving mad, right? But Koshia's not the only one. Alexis is joining her on that level. In fact, I think Alexis 1 is probably even worse than Koshia's 1, right? So Alexis 1 is, if you get into it, and this is, again, look, no offense to her, but if you get into a relationship with her, you have to be very careful what you trigger, right? And I get it. Listen, I get it. You know, she felt like people were coming against her, but she was unaccountable. See, it's not the fact that everyone's just against her. She's unaccountable. All right? She's unaccountable for her behaviors. And that's what told me, yeah, look, you're dangerous. No offense. If this was a man, we would say the same thing. You're dangerous because you can do anything at this point in time. Right? Number two, also, because you can't be consoled and because you can't be told nothing at that point in time, right? Now you can't be called or you can't be reasoned with. When somebody's in such an anger that you can't be reasoned with, at that point in time, that person could do anything to anybody, right? Now, we've all been in places where we've been angry. We've all been in places where we don't want to be stopped. We've all been in places where someone has frustrated us so much. But when your friend comes to grab you and says, listen, call it, man, I got you. Bro, like, chill. That person usually becomes what we call a co-regulator. Oh my gosh, my English. Hey, English, will you come back to me? Lord, Father, we thank you in the name of Jesus. Bring back the English in the name of Jesus. I've been speaking too much tongues, and I need to speak the English that we need to speak. They become a co-regulator. Oh my days, regulator. Oh my days, a co. Hey, English is not coming to me. Oh, Father in heaven, bring remembrance of this language that I speak is my mother tongue. Aye, what is going on? The English is zooms in me, bruv. It's a simple word. A co-regulator, a co-regulator. That's it. A co-regulator. Oh my God. Yo, hey, hey, when you spend too much time speaking in tongues and up in the mountains, you forget you have a language that you speak on this earth. I tell you this now. Look, so co-regulator, right? Someone who helps you regulate, right? So when you are in a situation when you're so angry, you have somebody, okay? Yeah, listen, you're going to have to deal with it. Listen, co-regulator, whatever, co-regulator. Oh, co-regulator, that's it. Oh, bruv. Hey, the English was slewing, man. Co-regulator. Co-regulator. Oh. What was wrong with, bro? What's going on with me, bro? Thank you, guys. Thank you for helping me. Thank you. Co-regulator. I apologize. My English was leaving me, and, you know, I don't know what happened there. But co-regulator, right? So back to what I was saying, co-regulator. So when you get someone who co-regulates with you, right? What happens is, in a relationship, you actually co-regulate, right? So let's say I'm angry. What ends up happening is the person who's in a relationship with you ends up soothing you, right? So they might say, hey, look, I know you're feeling this way, but look, we got you. Don't be too pressed. We're sorting it out. You know, we got your back, etc. Then you begin to cool down. I need to get some water because clearly... I need to cool down. And so when that person helps you to regulate, what that person doing is that in a relationship, we learn to regulate each other. So if it gets to a point where the person can't regulate you, right? And there's no co-regulation in the relationship, right? It tells you that there's something deeper going on with you, right? I've told you guys about Jamaica. I was in Jamaica. I got angry at one point. Then Sean came to me and was like, bro, look at me. You got to chill, bro. And I'm like, yeah, I can't chill because you know me. He's like, chill, look at me. And eventually I'm having to cool down, okay? I'm having to cool down in that place, right? So what that tells you is that there's a level of awareness in me that even when I'm angry, there's a level of awareness that I have to co-regulate. I have to be able to chill because my friend is now telling me, hey, where you are at the moment, you're kind of going a bit left, calm it down. Now, when you are unable to do this, is either one of two reasons. When you can't regulate, when you're that angry, right? With a friend, it's because that person isn't a friend, so you don't respect them, so you don't care what they say. Or number two, you've got some deeper issues. And so when you're at that point, it's not even a case of you feel like you're justified. You're just so angry that you want to satisfy that beast that is calling out your name right now. Right? Now, when that's something deeper inside of you, it's hard to kind of explain that. There is a beast inside. That's why the Bible says that be angry but sin not. That the Bible says that man's anger doesn't produce a righteousness because it turns to wrath. When it turns to wrath, at that point, the person can't see anything else apart from the beast. And the beast must be satisfied. And the beast is not going to be satisfied till I beat your ass. That's what's going to happen. Or I do something to you, or I cuss out your name in such a way that the beast is now satisfied. That beast that's inside of you is coming out from the wound that has not been healed yet. And so in that space, that person can't be called by anybody else because that is not Alexis. That's Alexis the beast. Okay? That's Alexis the beast. Just going to tell you that straight. All right, that is Alexis the beast. That's a different person at that point. At that point, rebabo shata. You need to be in tongues because at what point can you calm this person down? You know, it got to a point where even Will himself, and do you know what's so wild about it? She made Will look like a normal person now. We thought that Will was somebody who wanted to go to a war with people. We thought he was petty, sassy, and angry, right? Oh, she made Will look innocent, right? Now we know why. She didn't even have a problem with dealing with Will because Will ain't the hardest one. Will is not the maddest one. We thought Will was mad. Will is not even the maddest one. She's now the maddest one. So of course, when she saw his madness, she felt no way. Yeah, I can deal with his madness. Yeah, I can deal with his madness because I'm madder than you. You thought you were mad. No, I'm madder than you. You understand what I'm saying to you? So when you are at that point, when you're at that point where nobody else can co-regulate you, and there's no co-regulation going on, okay, all right? At that point in time, that person has something deeper that is speaking at that point in time. Now, she may have had a flashback at that point in time and felt to herself, maybe she felt like she was reliving a certain moment in her past, and so therefore the anger had to come out. I get it. I actually definitely get it, and I understand. Like sometimes you're triggered so bad about a past situation replaying itself. What the mind wants to do, and this is what happens to you if you're in a situation like this where, and it's not just anger, it can be other things too. But anger is one of those emotions that we often use as a self-defense mechanism. Let me say it again: anger is something we often use as a self-defense mechanism to tell somebody you've crossed my boundaries. Okay, you've crossed my boundaries. Right? Or you feel like you've been unfairly treated, or you feel you're unloved, rejected, or disrespected, or you feel like you're being prevented from reaching a particular goal, or your safety is in question. Right? Now, a lot of us, when we talk about safety being in question, we're talking about our emotional safety. And if you feel emotionally unsafe in an environment, you can go back to what you understood was a safety mechanism or a defense mechanism in your childhood that caused you to have some level of success in being able to ward off the wild animals. Let me say it again so you understand what I'm saying. I don't know if you guys can get what I'm saying. If you understand what I'm saying, put in the chat that you understand what I'm saying. When you are a young child, and okay, again, this comes down to nature and nurturing too, your personality type. But once in your childhood, if you've learned, and if you want to go back, if you're somebody who suffers with anger, go back to your childhood. Go back to a situation in that space where you felt like your boundaries were being crossed and maybe you couldn't speak up, or your boundaries were being crossed and you couldn't fight back. Your boundaries were being crossed and it felt like you were being unfairly treated, or you felt unsafe. And if you look back at your reactions or your emotions at that point in time, it will start to make sense as to why you do what you do now. So maybe what was happening with Alexis when she was younger, maybe she's been ganged up on before. Maybe she's been bullied before. Maybe she's had a group of girls be nasty and be bitchy to her before, right? And maybe the way that she understood in that moment where maybe she felt like she couldn't change her environment, or maybe she did change her environment. That's two things here. Let me just break that down. There's two things here. In that, when you have scenarios like this in your childhood where you've been, your boundaries have been crossed, your safety's been in question, you've been hurt or whatever in the past. You can see there's two reactions that can happen sometimes. One, the person can use their anger in their childhood and they see it works and it benefits them, and then they use that in future. Or the other way round, is that you see that with that the person may go quiet, accept the abuse, but when they get older, they don't accept it. They want to have a voice. And so when you get older, either you have learned that your anger works for you, or you learn that that you not being angry meant that you got taken advantage of. So today I'm gonna show y'all ain't gonna play with me. So either way, in that scenario, it's from a learned behavior. And this is why I always say that no tree, let me say it for you, I'm going to say it, no tree is a tree without roots. Nobody would trust a tree that did not have roots. It wouldn't be an alive tree. Every tree has roots. You are a substance of what you experienced and what you did in your childhood. They make up for who you are today. So when people say my past does not dictate my future, I'm telling them it does. And you better look at it so that you can make changes so that your future is not poorly affected. So let me say it again. You cannot trust a tree that don't have no roots. Because if it has no roots, at that point, it's probably dead. A living tree has roots. And so when you see that tree, right, and you see the roots, what that means is for us as adults, now you are a representative of what you experienced and what you did and what you went through as a kid and how you handled it. So now we are looking at you, asking the question, where did it go wrong? where did this situation go so badly that you are sitting here doing this? Look at this. Look at this.
And bitch, I'll beat you. Look. I'll beat you up.
It got to a point. I know Justin, and I know Justin was vexed because he was at the point he was willing to. He was at that point willing to. He wanted to stay cool. I know he wanted to stay cool. Shout out to Justin. He tried to stay cool, but when she got onto his girl, you know what? I've got to admit. Shout out to Justin. You know what I mean? Shout out to Justin. I have to shout out Justin momentarily. I respect that. Brother said, nah, my girl. Oh, you must be mad. You were coming at me. I was cool with it. But now you're coming onto my girl. No, no. We gonna have a problem. Now we literally gonna have a problem. And I respect that. You know what I mean? Okay. But going back to what I was saying. Okay. Go back to what I'm saying with Alexis, like in a situation. The fact she has to be dragged away. I mean, look, the girl's being, dragged. I mean, she's being dragged away. I mean, you know the ones where you say, hold me back. She's having a hold me back moment. I just need to do
And
this.
bitch, I'll beat you. Look. I'll beat you up.
It's Will. Will's got her in a literally Will. It's a Will situation at this point. You got what I'm saying to you, right? Will's having to literally pull her away from the situation and remove her from the scenario. When you're at that point, okay, all right. When you're at that point, deep in it, that you have to be dragged away and you're still, you're still remonstrating at that point. The anger, and I'll tell you, I remember a situation, I was telling a friend about this, that I remember one day I was so angry that I had to get out of the place. Like and this is why I'm talking about self-awareness, right? If you don't have a level of self-awareness, what you'll realize is your mouth will get you into trouble and your fists will get you into trouble, because you have to understand that when you're angry, you have to control you have to be self-aware of your anger. If you're not a self-aware person, you'll let your anger go beyond this measure. We all get angry. So I remember one time I got so vexed, I was so angry that I had to leave the place and I had to go for a walk. I went for a walk. I walked for about an hour and a bit. I just couldn't do it. I said I have to walk for an hour and a bit. Nah, because if I don't talk to myself and I don't get out of this place, I'm not going to be sensible. And I have to walk. And now rarely do I ever get to that kind of anger. But when I saw that kind of anger, I said, whoa, nah, I'm going for a walk and I'm walking. Yeah, I'm walking. Because I never want to be in a situation like this. And I've never been in a situation like that. But it's, again, you have to have a level of self-awareness about how you are moving. If you don't realize that you are going to end up in a space. And yes, aggressive. This was very aggressive. I can't lie to you. She was very aggressive. Very, very aggressive. No words about it. She's very aggressive. That behavior alone told us that she was aggressive. Point a finger in people's faces, being unaccountable, saying stuff. That alone in itself. That alone in itself tells me, that there's some deeper rooted issues there. But I'm going to tell you, that's a dangerous person. Can't lie to you. Because the provocation came from a result of her own behavior. The provocation came as a result of her own behavior. And the funny thing was, we thought Koshia was moving wild, but at least with Koshia's situation, there was some threat there. To Quilla and Janelle, there was some threat there. But this situation here, my God. Yes, the words aggressive and combative definitely are being used for Alexis correctly and appropriately. There is no dodging that. Very much so. There's no dodging it. She is aggressive and she is combative in this. I can't lie to you. But because we never saw it to just now, but I got to be honest with you, yes. It was definitely aggressive and combative. I can't deny that, unfortunately. And she has to hold that L because that was wild. Because she engineered her own madness. She engineered that madness. Okay? She engineered that madness. Because if you realize how it actually started, you were happy. And what I don't like is people being unaccountable. When people are unaccountable about their own behavior, I really dislike it. Like, don't pretend as if you don't know what happened. Don't pretend as if you don't know what happened. Right? Now, and you're right. They've edited her in a particular way that has made her look good. Now, we saw glimpses of this with LaRon, and we saw glimpses of this with Coach Shia, right? So I do agree. She got really good at it. No play of it. This is why I'm being really stern about this situation, because, you know, to see that unaccountability in his behavior. And don't worry, we're going to go on to Alonzo. Alonzo's got a lot of smoke coming his way. A lot of smoke. But don't worry. I want to first deal with Alexis, and we can deal with Alonzo. Now, this situation here is unaccountable.
Okay.
You have been a snake this whole process, my.
Remember who you talking to.
Are you serious right
Yes.
now? You're a dork.
Now, I'm going to say this straight. Well, I've actually asked Alexis to come on. So I know she said she was going to consider it, but I don't know if she will come on. We'll see. You know, none of the ladies have come on this season apart from Patricia. So shout out to Patricia for coming on. I need to ask Patrice. I haven't asked her. I think she's only one. And I think Maya might come on. We'll see. You know, I think this is interesting, right? So my thing is this, right? We can say maybe she's got an issue with the ladies, right? So we can say she got an issue with the ladies. Let's say she had an issue with the ladies. Fair enough, she had an issue with the ladies. But the reality of the situation is, in this scenario, unprovoked, she was like, well, LaRon is the biggest snake around. You didn't have to say that, but you decided to say it because you wanted to say it. You wanted to get your point across. And by the way, don't get it twisted. I'm not against your point of view, right? I'm just telling you that when you decided, you took it upon yourself to call someone a snake, call them a dork, right? And there was another word that she said as well too, right? And you said it with so much good energy, with so much energy. It wasn't in a good stead or in love or, you know, joking. You weren't. You were being deadly serious. You were trying to attack him, and you were trying to insult him, right? So when you do that, you don't get the right to be like, are you serious right now? No, because you just insulted him. He's going to insult you back, right? He's going to insult you back. So at that point, I've got to let you know, sis, you've got to hold it. You've got to hold it. You don't get to be unaccountable and be like, are you serious right now? I didn't even say anything to you. You're lying. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's not do that. You know what I mean? The same way I don't like what Alonzo did, and I can't wait till I'm going to do a full breakdown of Alonzo, the body language. Like, Alonzo literally lied in everybody's faces and tried to play it off like, oh, no. And this is exactly what I was saying about Alonzo when I said I was interviewing him. I hadn't even seen this clip, right? But it's the exact same thing I was saying about Alonzo when I'm looking at going, when I look at Alonzo, I said, when people are emotionally wounded, they can be dangerous. I'm one of those people. So when I'm doing the healing work, I can see it. I'm telling you, I can see it because I've had to live through it. So I know what it ends up being. I know those of us who are emotionally wounded and insecure, I know what happens. But that behavior by Alonzo at the very end on the show about that, why can't you have friends that won't? It's a typical move by somebody who doesn't trust people. Hence why he tests people. But we're going to go into it in a second. I don't want to go too early. I'm jumping ahead, right? I'm jumping ahead.
Bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
I haven't said nothing to this dude.
You just called me a dork.
Let's bring it back.
I think LaRon is the biggest snake we have on the cast.
She's like, I haven't said nothing to this dude. I haven't said nothing to this dude. But you have said something. But you have said something. And that's the whole point I'm trying to say. Like, it's not that we disagreed. Nobody disagrees with Alexis's statement. I mean, put it in the chat if you guys disagree. Do you think LaRon was a snake? I don't think many people would disagree. Right? Put it in the chat if you disagree. If you agree or disagree. You know what I'm saying? If you agree that LaRon is a snake, you can put I agree. If you say disagree, put in the chat disagree. Right? Nobody disagrees with that point, right? And we're about to go to members only as well, guys. So in about 5 minutes, I'm going to make it members only. If you're not a member, please join the membership. It's £1, $1. It won't kill you. We like to keep it nice and cheap for you guys, all right? So we are going to go members only in a second or two. So make sure you guys are in the membership as well, because it will be members only in about 5 minutes or so. All right. So we all know that LaRon ends up being a snake. Like what we saw from Will and the text, it proves that he would be a snake. So we're not disagreeing. But if you come out and you say it like that, babe, be ready. Right? Be ready. If you come out and say somebody's a snake, and say that, just be ready. And then don't then have the audacity to get angry about when the women are also on your neck about you being a snake. right? You then can't be angry at the ladies being angry at you, calling you a snake because information's leaking from you to someone. Right? So at that point in time, you can't argue and be in a place of higher moral ground when information's been leaked from the girls' lounge and somehow get into to Will. Then of course, because no one else is talking to Will like that. So who's leaking that information? Right? So at that point in time, let's keep it a buck, let's keep it real. I listen. I understand, but you got to take what you got to take. Yes, you saw Alexis. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not mad at it. When Seaway said it and said she's too male identified, I wasn't pressed. I understand. Yeah, I wasn't vexed about the Alexis situation. If you thought she was male identified, I wasn't trying to argue on this occasion. I actually understood what you guys were saying. So yeah, you're absolutely right. So you can't pretend that you don't know what happened. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's something that she has to look at deeper and really look at why she decided to go so left in that particular moment as well, right?
To be honest with you.
Oh, let's go there.
Let's go there.
Let's go there.
You're the biggest snake we have on the cast.
Out of here. Okay.
You're a dork.
But now you were just sitting on the couch trying to shut me up with me. Like, relax.
Just now?
So, I mean, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, again, someone said, how is she meant to say it? It's not about knowing how necessary to say it, but the game is, if we're saying someone said something, you should say, if you say, we know that LeRon is the biggest snake here, that's not just saying it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Let's not pretend we don't know what we're hearing people say. When someone says, LeRon's like the biggest snake here, you're not now talking about the game. Your wording is very important. I am not defending LeRon. I'm gonna say it again. I'm not defending LeRon. By the text of what we've seen by Will, they proved that LeRon would have been the biggest snake. I'm not arguing that. My point wasn't about arguing about him being a snake. My point was, it's the way you were coming at the situation. By saying to somebody, you know what, we know that LeRon's the biggest snake here. You've acted the person. Rather than saying, actually, I think LeRon said it. I think they said it about LeRon. That would have been you still doing in the game, but you took the words in a completely different direction. Words are very important. When people use certain words and phraseology, they're being very conscious about the way they say something. So you got to pay attention to how they say it, because at that point in time, sometimes it's in the wording that you usually see the intention, right? So at that point in time, that's why I'm looking at and going, you out of order because of the way you were doing, right? The way you address the situation, and then you try to pretend as if I didn't know what I was doing. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Don't play victim now. That's scary. See, that's scary. You know what I mean? That's another part that's scary. That you are now, see, hey, if you're a person that's angry and you're like, listen, I did what I need to do, it is what it is. But if you're somebody also who adds, let's talk about it for real now. Let's talk about this for real now. Why it becomes even more scarier is that she tries to play victim whilst actually being the aggressor. Now that's scary for me. Right? At least with Koshia, you know what? We know. I thought she's a little bit manipulative in the way she cries and does whatever she does. There's a little bit of that issue too, as well. But when you start saying, "Whoa, me? Are you serious right now? You mean when I cussed him out, he gets an opportunity to cuss me too? Are you serious right now? You're telling me that when I cuss you out, tell you about yourself, you can cuss me out too, and it's not in a you mean incredulous. Like when you start playing the victim, when you know that you are aggressing a situation, you're a dangerous person to me. Because at that point in time, if the cameras are not there, you're gonna tell a story in a particular way. Right? You're gonna tell a story in a particular way. And I have this energy for both the men and the women all season long. All season long. I said the same thing about Chaz. I've said the same thing about LeRon. I've said the same thing about Alonzo. And Patrice needs to get a little bit of smoke too, because Patrice thinks she's funny, but she needs to get a little bit of smoke too. Now, she got done dirty by Alonzo, but baby, the way she tried to play Will and was unaccountable in that moment when they both corrected you and you still wanted to stand 10 toes down on your madness. I looked at Patrice a bit of a way. I said, you dangerous. Not dangerous. I won't say that's the wrong word. I said, you unaccountable too. Right? There's a lot of unaccountable people on this show. Will, Alonzo, Patrice, Alexis, Mika. Mika, I love you, but you unaccountable, baby. You unaccountable. How you? I'm getting ahead of myself. But all these people were unaccountable to me, right? Alexis, Mika, Patrice, Alonzo, Will, all unaccountable in their behaviors, right? All are unaccountable in their behaviors. And it's so funny. Mika was going at Alexis and then saying, how you talking when you left the show early? But Mika was here attacking Alexis. At that point, I'm like, Mika, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm not looking at Mika like, what are you doing? Why are you calling her out on her name? And I'm going to go members only now, guys. So if you're not a member, my friends, please, we are about to go members only, so you won't be able to type in a chat. But I'm like, Mika, what are you doing? Why are you going at, like, unprovoked going at Alexis? Then you also went at Will. By the way, that's a two-way thing. So it's both of you, but you went at Will. So both of you are a problem at this point in time. I can't just blame Will. And I know some people are going to hate on what Will said. Listen, I don't like to have those kind of arguments. But the reality is, I keep saying this. If you think you can get away with cussing somebody out and then thinking they're not going to cuss you out because they're a male, I need you to get that out of your brain. Get that out of your mind. Stop that nonsense. It's stupid. It's really dumb. Like, if you think because you're a woman, you can cuss somebody out and think that the man shouldn't say anything, you are in 2024, and I need you to realize you're in 2024. Okay, all right? Have some respect, and it should be given back to you. If you're willing to go past the line and be disrespectful, know that disrespect is coming your way too. I just don't understand this mindset. Like, it's at that point, I'm not calling anybody sassy. At that point, I'm calling you both mad. You're both mad. If you decide to cuss somebody out and they cuss you back, and I heard with the girls, I don't know who was that said it. I can't remember who said it. But one of the girls, when Will was cussing out Mika, was like, look at a man arguing with a girl. I'm like, look at a woman arguing with a man. I need you to stop that nonsense. Stop it. This is how we're ruining our relationships. You think you're a special case because you're a woman? No. Right? Now, I do believe there's a level as men we should go to, and I definitely understand that. There's a level as men we should go to. There is a level that we can't go to, and I definitely recognize that as well. But I want to be very honest. Like, don't be cussing people and thinking they're not going to cuss you back. Like, it's nuts. They're going to cuss you back. Okay? And when they cuss you back, I don't want to hear you complaining about sassy apostle. No, there's no sassy apostle. Stop cussing them out. You're being disrespectful. Just stop it. Like, it frustrates me when I see people do that. When people try to make it out that case. It's like, you saw her cuss somebody out, and if you see her cuss somebody out, why do you think that he's not going to cuss her back? Are you all right? What world do you live in? What world do you live in? What world do you live in that when you get the opportunity to cuss somebody out and they cuss you back, but they cuss you harder, so now you're vexed because they cussed you harder? No, you should have never started cussing them. State your point, say how you feel, but cussing somebody out, expect to be cussed back. You know what I mean? Oh, was it Maya who said it? Okay, it was Maya. I hate when people do that. It's so annoying. It's like, you get to do whatever you want to do, but the other person can't do it. Allow it. Allow that chat. I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I hate it. I hate that time. And that for me is not double standard. At that point, we're not doing double standards. At that point, you're entitled. You think you can do anything you want. No. And that goes for both men and women. Don't be cussing out no woman, and when she cussed you out saying you don't respect a man. I hate that kind of talk. You cussed her out, now she cussing you back. Don't be talking about, oh, she ain't got no respect for men. No, she got no respect for your ass. And your ass deserves a cussing. If you've cussed her out and she cusses you back, I don't want to hear no complaints. You see what I'm saying to you? If you cussed her out, like Will was doing to Mika, and she cusses you back, okay, you don't have no complaints and you have no leg to stand on. Once she cussed him and he cussed her back and she cussed you again, you can't complain about, you cussed me. No, you can't complain. You should have not said anything. Felicia said kids should be off limits. You can't cuss somebody and think it's not going to be off limits. Now, my only off limits is racism. That's my only thing. Racism, colorism, that's my off limits. For me, those things are off limits. But kids, they're not going to be off limits. Your kids can get it too. You need to know that your kids can get it too. Don't go into a warfare with somebody. I think racism and colorism are the only off limits because as black people, we should not be saying that. You know what I mean? But I didn't like that comment about you had to choose track. I don't understand why he had to say that. Personally. I think he went a bit too low, personally for me. Because I don't understand why he cussed her out about the tube being tied. I don't get that. But hey, in warfare, you know, I'm not cussing anybody's kids out. That's for sure. I definitely ain't. I'm not about that life, okay? I'm not about that life. I won't do it. I won't do it, okay? I won't do it. Let's get back to our regular scheduled conversation because we're talking about Alexis.
You sitting here throwing your dress on me, whispering in my ear.
I'm throwing my dress on you? You haven't said nothing to this dude.
You just called me a dork.
Hey, yo, LeRon, chill, man, chill.
You were
Now, it's so interesting because the security came out so quick. LeRon had, and I'll be fair to LeRon, as much as I thought it was a madness, I didn't see him move in his chair like he was going to do something, but maybe I missed it. I understand that, you know what I mean? So I get that. And so, you know, I see obviously a situation, you know, an interesting situation because obviously for men, you don't want to ever get into that situation, so I get it, right? But yeah, so that's how the argument actually started, and she's gone on like she don't know what she said and what she did, and that's why I was looking at like, how you gonna be unaccountable in this moment?
out of your
Please,
mind.
everybody just shut up.
Man, can y'all shut up? Tell her to go. Here.
No, I'm not getting.
Now Alonzo tries to pull her away, tries to calm it down. Alonzo trying to be the superhero once more again. Like I keep saying about Alonzo, he wants to be a superhero all the time. I need him to chill, okay? I need him to chill. Learn, okay? Learn, okay? Learn. You see how she wanted to learn? Okay. At that point, she weren't trying to hear nothing, bro. Okay. It's funny because obviously Will tries after. That's how I let you know. Ain't nobody could have handled her in that moment, bro. You know, like ain't nobody could have handled her in that moment.
Getting up. I'm not getting up.
Tell her to go.
Who is that? Wait, who the heck is that? Hey, wait, hold on. Do you not see that? Wait, hold on.
I'm not getting up.
Who the hell is this person? Is that a producer? Yo, what's a producer doing on there, bro? Yo, what is a producer doing there, bro? Producer said, hold on a minute. Alexis, I need you to get up. Producer, I need you to get up, okay? All right? I need you to get up there. Which means this has been going on for a little while. Yes, it's obviously been going on for a little while. Because for her to be at that space, it's been going on for a little while, right? To get to that point where the producer has to get in there and, you know, look, he's standing there saying, come on, work with me here. Come on, Alexis, work with me here. Okay? Work with me. All right? Yeah, Tommy's standing up. Tommy's standing up there. He's actually standing up. So they're obviously on a break now at this point, right? They're probably not filming the way into film. Probably trying to calm down, cool down. Okay? You know what I mean? So exactly, if he's having to come out, definitely was hot. Tommy was like, I don't even want to be there. I don't want to see this madness. Okay? All right? You know? Crazy.
Tell her to go.
How am I the problem?
No one said you were wrong.
Now look, I didn't even. Do you know what? I didn't even clock because I didn't watch this in slow mo. This part of the show, they now got a shot, and that's Dom. Dom is standing up. So we got Dom standing up. That's Dom standing up now with security. Let's just deep that. That's Dom standing up with security, doing about to collect the usher. Like security's there. She's trying to talk to Justin. Look what's happening. So obviously Patrice is there, but other people have left. Tommy's gone. It's just LeRon, Mika. I guess Will might be still there, and she's talking to Justin right now as well, right? Okay. That is interesting. All right, cool. Let's see.
But
I
you
don't
keep talking
know.
though.
You
You keep
talking
running
to
your
me.
mouth.
So whose finger is that? Who is in the black and white? I just forgot. Who's in black and white? Is that DeMonte? Is that DeMonte? I think it's DeMonte who's in the black and white, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's DeMonte with the black and white. Yeah, because they're trying to touch her to tell her to get up.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead
Do
ass
you
serious.
know?
I'm dead
No, it's Chaz. Sorry, it's Chaz. I apologize, Chaz. So Chaz is the one that's talking at that point in time, right? And so she trying to touch. She there's a little bit too much going on for me at this point. Look, Let's just roll it back a little bit. Let's just roll it back a little bit. Let's just roll it back a little bit. I want to roll it back because there's a little bit going on too much. Just a little bit too much going on. And this is why I said that she flipped. She tweaked. She tweaked.
I'm not getting up.
Tell her to go.
No one said you were.
So now there's a conversation between. There's now a situation between Justin and Alexis. I love Justin's body language. He's like, listen, I'm just gonna stay here cool. Look, you tweaking, babe. You're talking too much, and you're doing a little bit too much for the situation. Okay, you're doing a little bit too much talking. You tweaking a bit. All right, you tweaking. I need you to chill. All right, let's see where it goes.
But you keep talking though. You keep running your mouth.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead ass serious.
Do you know
I'm dead ass
me?
serious. I don't give a.
He said she's running her mouth a little bit too much, and she said, "Do you know me?" And that's what I'm trying to tell you. That she got into a place, into her face at that point in time, and because it's getting that heated at that point in time, because getting that heated at a point in time, it's becoming a problem. You know what I'm saying to you? It's becoming a problem, and now you are causing everybody to now be around you. You see what I'm saying to you? And this is what I'm saying to you, that when that anger becomes so heavy, it gets to a place where no one's can console you. You're unconsolable. All right? So, yes, definitely. Mika said she's going to fight her for it. Absolutely. Okay? I get it, you know? She wanted to save her man, and I'm not vexed at that. She did the right thing. I think Mika did the right thing because, again, we already know that men and women shouldn't be getting into a fight spat. That's just gonna be crazy. Now I see, but he handled himself well. I want to commend Justin because he said one or two words and he said, "I'm gonna keep my mouth shut." Okay.
Did I call? Get off of me.
I'm good. I can shut up.
I love this point because he said, listen, I'm going to show you. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to show you and I'm going to shut up. I'm going to show you and I'm going to shut up. And I respected it because at that point in time, how he handled it was like, listen, I've said my piece. I'm going to calm it down and up to you what you do. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, you're going to handle it. You're going to be in a situation, but I've told you how I felt. Now, the fact that she's still going on at him, still wanting to have this beef with him, when Justin hasn't beefed her all season long. I don't think he's beefed her. So why are you wanting beef now, Justin? What's behind you wanting to beef Justin? See, everybody can get it now. And I guess it's because she felt like the whole world was against her. But you know when people are carrying a chip on their shoulder? You know when people are carrying a chip on their shoulder that no matter what you say to them, they're going to do what they're going to do? You know when people are carrying a chip and they're only waiting for you to take a bite of that chip and they're going to blow off? Right?
Watch this.
All right. You see what she did there? Now, I think that was even security. I didn't into the deep. We're going to go back. Because even security, actually, you know what? I'm even going too deep quickly. We have to do a separate lie. Who is that? I think that's security. That is security. That's a security hand. Yeah, that's a security hand. This is security hand. Look at this. This is security hand. Now, watch what's going to happen. Okay? Watch what's going to happen.
Get off of me.
Now, look what's happening. Security's hand is now involved.
Watch this.
All right. Look what she says. Get your effing hand off me. Look, even security. And my thing is, okay, listen, security should have dragged her off that stage earlier. I can't lie to you. We wouldn't have wasted time with a man being in a woman's face like this. And it should have never been that way because anything could have happened. And in all honesty, if they're not trying to be that show, if they're trying to be classy, they should have pulled her away immediately because at that point, she was actually in Justin's face. And at that point, brother's got to sit there and just accept it. That's a very dangerous place to be in. This is why I commended Justin. It's a very dangerous place to be in. When you're doing this in my face, right? No, she should have been dragged off. She should have been dragged off. They should have dragged her right off. They should have dragged her right off. Because at that point, you are in someone's face doing this. If a man was in a woman's face doing this, we'd say the same thing. We wouldn't say, no, we'd say drag his ass off because it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Because if now you touch my face and he slaps her, we'd all be saying he shouldn't slap her. No, we don't wait. We don't wait to find out what you're about to do. We don't wait to see if you really have got the minerals and the balls and the kahunas to do physical to somebody. Right? If you're telling someone, the security himself, saying, oh, get your effing hands off me, you're at a point, you're unconsolable, dragged off. That's it. No play. You're off the take. I'm not about to, do you know what I'm saying to you? Because he's sitting there and he has to take what you're giving him and you're in his face. You have to drag her off. Someone said Dante again. Yeah, absolutely. You have to. And that's why Leilene was like, I'm not trying to be in this.
Get your hands up.
Now, what happened here? I don't know how it got to escalation point. Let me just go back a little bit. Let's just hopefully we can understand, because the escalation point is where it gets that point. It's interesting. You know what I mean? So I want to see again and see. Let's see what happens here. She actually touched the security and moved his hand out the way. See, both security are there right now. Mika's there. Let's hear the audio.
Get your hands up. And bitch, I'll beat you.
It's like, I don't know what she even said, too tough, whatever, that sent her over the edge. You know what I mean? Right? Yeah, I think that's what she said, something like that. Yeah, something like that, or whatever. And so, in that situation, it's like, oh my God, like, this is, you see what I'm saying to you? She was waiting for that moment. So you're giving her that moment, and that's what I'm trying to say. You're giving her that moment by not removing her from the stage, and not taking her off, because she was waiting for that little flicker. Waiting. Someone said drugs are legendary. And everybody's getting a you too. Yeah. At this point, Alexis has to be held accountable, because everybody was getting it. Nobody could have spoke to her at that point. Okay. All right. Nobody could speak to her. Nobody could tell her something. Nobody could advise her. You know, everybody was getting it. Do you know what I'm saying to you? I don't even have the clip here because I think it ended before we got to that point. Okay, hold on. Yeah, look at this part here. Right? Look at this part here.
Away
You
from
can't
me,
leave,
Will.
though, dog. Like, come on, man. You can't let them get the best of you.
They not getting the best of me. You
gonna let
getting the worst of me. You getting the worst of me. You get the worst.
Now, question is, why the hell are we getting this kind of behavior? She's got to be held accountable. You know, simply put, she's got to be held accountable. It was outrageous behavior, problematic. It should have never happened. Should never happen. Okay, at that point, should never ever happen. You know what I mean? Never should happen. Well, we've been there before, haven't we? So we've seen many things, but that was aggressive. It was combative. It was wrath. It was rage. You know, it was unaccountable behavior with it as well, which is even more deadly. You're in people's faces. You know, at that point in time, I didn't like that. You know, I don't like that at all. I think that's nasty behavior. If I'm honest with you, it's nasty behavior. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's nasty behavior. Personally, let's shout out to Jay Sanon as well. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you. Love for the membership as well. Appreciate you guys who have joined. Choc It Soul. Appreciate you guys. Cassius, shout out. And the Ranting Shop, we appreciate you for joining the membership as well. If you do want to be able to obviously speak in the chat, listen, you know what to do. We're going to have a super panel later on tonight as well. So you guys better join us for that. We'll definitely be having some real conversations. Let me just play my little song because you know I've got to play it. Here we go, like that. Shout out to the new members. We appreciate you as well. All right, cool. Listen, let's get on to Alonzo. And I know that people can't wait to hear what's going to be said about the situation with Alonzo, because we got to talk about him. Okay, we gotta talk about Alonzo. Okay, we gotta talk about Alonzo. I'm telling you, because that was wild to me. That was very wild to me what happened with Alonzo in the situation as well. And yeah, it was a nasty piece of. There was a nasty little lie in there from old boy. Which was interesting. But yes, let me read out the votes. Thank you, El Cid. So the votes, you guys voted. Was Alexis wrong for popping up at the reunion? And the votes said 86% believed she was wrong, and 14% believed that she was not wrong. So that's an interesting amount of numbers. Most people felt like Alexis was unjustified or wrong for her behavior. Okay, so shout out to y'all who are voting. I'm going to change it now. I'm going to change it because we're going to have another poll in a second or two. We're going to do one of Alonzo in a second or two. But I'm going to bring that clip up because let me tell you something. People were lying out of their skin. Alonzo are lying out of his skin. Let me put up a clip that I want to pull up. Yes. Okay, let me put up a clip because I felt like, you know what? It's important that we put up this clip. Okay? All right, cool. Let's get to it.
But mind you, this is somebody I've never had anything with.
So this is a friend girl.
Exactly what I do nothing with. Why would I give her a key if I'm messing around? I'm not about to.
Now, I'll do the body language another time. My water's run out. I need to get some more water. But let me be honest with you. Okay? All right? Let me be honest with you. Now, however, how I feel about Patrice and her being unaccountable with a will situation, I want to be very real and very frank. Okay? I played that clip because it said never. Okay? He never had a thing with that girl. Okay? I want to play it one more time so we're all on the same page. Okay? All right? We need to play it so we're all on the same page and we know exactly what's going on. Let's play it again.
She was like, can we talk? I said, cool. But mind you, this is somebody I've never had anything with.
So this is...
Pause it right there. Because he said, listen, I've never had a thing with. Okay? All right? Never had a thing with. Okay? Now, I'm going to explain something to you, and I hope you guys are listening to this because it's going to be a really, really important part of conversation. Okay? Here's my thing. When people are emotionally wounded, when they have been emotionally neglected in their childhood, that's a lot of us, by the way. When we've been emotionally neglected in our childhood, the way we see the world is through the broken lens. And because we've been broken, we can only understand a broken perspective. That when somebody brings a lens that is more, which is whole, secure in attachment, healthy, when that person has a broken lens, they won't see it that way. Okay? Now, I'm telling you from that space because I know what it is. Okay? Okay? I'm telling you, I know what it is, right? Okay? And we're not talking about lying here. I'm not going to lie. We're not talking about lying. What I'm addressing specifically now is the reason why that woman was there in the first place. Because we have to talk about that first. So, in that situation, and I never said anything about lying, you're jumping ahead of me, guys. Don't jump ahead of me. See, you're doing this thing. Don't jump ahead, because I wasn't talking about lying. I was talking about the woman. Now, specifically, what we're talking about here in the situation is the reason why that woman's there in the first place. So there's an issue. When you're emotionally wounded, having people around like this is normal. Having women around or men around who you've had interactions with which have gone past have gone past a friendship level, and you are trying to make a relationship work with somebody else, that person shouldn't be around you, bro. Or lady, shouldn't be around you. But the reason why those people stay around in most cases isn't because they're great friends. I want to be honest with you. Isn't because they're great friends. It's because when you are emotionally wounded, what you tend to do is what I call splitting the soul. What you tend to do is you compartmentalize parts of yourself as a defense mechanism. So what you will end up doing is you never fully put yourself into a relationship 100%. Because if you do and you get hurt, you'll be completely destroyed. Because it will remind you that you're unloved, uncared for, rejected, unwanted. So what you do is you call what we call splitting the soul. You compartmentalize parts of yourself. So what he did is that he kept that woman around who he knew they've had interactions with. And instead of and if somebody really believes that person's a real true friend and they really have been there for them and down for them, then you should have been acting in an appropriate manner by saying, look, Patrice, can I be honest with you? I've got a friend who I have slept with. But this person is such a good friend for me because they've been there for me, they've done this, they've done that. Here's how I've put boundaries in place so that so that the relationship never goes past that point again. That's the only way it's going to work. Now, even that is still be uncomfortable for a lot of people. And if they said they were uncomfortable, I would understand. Right? This is why when you sleep with people, my thing is this. If I sleep with you and I've got a girl, more than likely, I'm going to be honest with you, you're out of my life at that point. It's just, like, we can do business, maybe we'll do business or something, or maybe we've got to do something like that or whatever. But at that point, we're not doing that friendship thing where you're coming around my house or I'm going out to dinner with you. See, there's too many of you who play games. You know that you slept with that person and you're with a girl or a guy and you're taking that person out to dinner, or they're letting them take you out to dinner, or you're going out to places, you're going on little things, whatever. Oh, we're just friends. I'm telling you now, if you've got a partner, that is, you are emotionally setting yourself up to fail. And that's where Alonzo was. Right? So him saying, oh, she had to come and help me with my groceries. And because, she had to help me with my groceries, my car broke down. So the person he called is somebody who he slept with. You ain't got no boys. You could have called to come and help you with the groceries. You giving us the freaking, what's his name that was with Summer? What's his name? Meech. You giving us that excuse of Meech? I was helping my cousin with the groceries. Right? And the reality was you couldn't call anybody else apart from the person you slept with. Now, this is a reason why you can't sleep with everybody. Right? But emotionally broken people like myself, okay, and I'm still growing, I'm still healing, okay, when we sleep with so many people, unfortunately, we ruin a lot of friendships because we sleep with that person who we shouldn't have slept with. You can see they're a good person, you can see they're a great person, you can see they're a good friend. My thing is this, either I'm having sex with you and I'm trying to make it work into a relationship, or it's nothing. I don't need to try and hold you as a friend because I can call other friends. You know what I'm saying to you? Once I get into a relationship, that's that friendship got to go because you are now way too close. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So this is really important because I want to break down this for anybody who has these type of behaviors. I want you to understand, if you know you have these type of behaviors where you keep people who you've slept with around next to you, I'm telling you, it's a boundary issue, but it comes because you are splitting your soul because you're afraid to love and afraid to get hurt. So you keep those friends around as what we call backups. Right? We call these the backups. The backups are there so that if anything goes wrong in your relationship, what do? Go to the backup. Right? Oh, if my relationship's not working too well, or I feel like I'm not getting the love I want in that relationship, I go to the backup. Oh, okay, like we've had an argument. Okay, I go to the backup. Oh, you know what? I'm not feeling the attention I've got. Go to the backup. And the backup is always there because you are afraid to fully be invested in your relationship. Okay? All right? You're fully afraid to be in your relationship. And the problem with that situation is then you can't give your all. And if you can't give your all, how are you able to understand how you really care about someone? Do you see what I'm saying to you? So when Alonzo was explaining that story, at that point in time, why you got to tell the story and say, oh, I never had anything with her. So why is she in your house? Why does she need to be in your house? Why is it that she had to be called? Because Alonzo was being smart about it and being manipulative, just like we said he was, right? Just like I called him out on the show, and maybe he'll come back. I don't know. Hopefully he does. Like I called him out for. I said your behavior is manipulative. It's not loving. Did I not tell him that? Did I not let him know that his behavior was manipulative and not loving? And he told me, "How would you mean testing?" And I told him, your behavior is not loving. It's manipulative. And now look what's happened. Right? Now look what's happened. So Alonzo, trying to make sure that he doesn't get played probably by Patrice, kept this one in the bag. Kept this girl in the bag and said, you know what? No. Let me keep this one in the bag just in case. Because if I keep her in the bag and Patrice has to play me, I've got a backup. And like, who you really playing? Who you really playing? Right? So now you've given her a key to say that you really care about her and to show that you are a serious candidate. And she comes over to the house and sees a girl in the house, then has a conversation with the girl in the house and finds out that you were sleeping with her. That's some warfare right there. Right? That's some dark, and there's some dark arts to this as well. Let's talk about the dark arts part of this. The dark arts part of this situation is that when people have other people that they've slept with, keeping them close without disclosing the information to other people, you don't feel pressed about things that happen in your relationship and you stay cool because you know you always have the backup. Now, the other aspect too is that why do I need to disclose this information? Now, I'm gonna expose something here, right? When I was in a more darker place, I remember having a thought saying to myself, why do I need to tell somebody what women I've slept with? If I'm not planning to sleep with them again, why would I need to tell a girl that why would I need to tell a girl I slept with her? Look, everything that's done in the darkness is eventually going to come to light. So if I don't come and tell you that I slept with that person, in my head, the reason why it's dark arts is because in my head, I think that I've got the jump on you. I'm like, look, I don't need to tell you. I don't need to tell you my secrets, but really and truly, you're broken. Because if you're in a space where you are able to hold that secret where I slept with you, but I don't have to tell my partner I slept with you, but I'm going to keep you coming around my peoples, right? You think you're in control of everything. Right? You think you're in control of everything. And whenever you think you're in control of everything is when everything begins to fall. The Bible says that pride cometh before a fall. So when you think you've got it all locked and you've got it all controlled and you think you've got it all under key and I can move this piece and this piece and this piece and this piece, I'm so smart, because that's what Alonzo was doing. That's why when he came onto the interview, he thought he was smarter than me. Cool, be smarter than me then. But now you look like a fool. Right? Now you look like a fool. See, I know the game, so I know what I'm looking at. I've played the game, and I know that, listen, just like being in a gang, eventually it's going to catch up with you. If you don't get out early enough, eventually that dark arts is going to do you. Because no man stays in the darkness that long and doesn't get consumed. Because there's always going to be somebody darker and someone bigger and better than you are. And eventually, if it's not that, your own ego will send you to the grave. Your own ego will send you to the gulag. Now, a lot of people that are emotionally wounded, have neglect issues, weren't paid attention to, weren't loved appropriately emotionally as a child, tend to keep people around because it helps their validation process. If I got you around me, I'm validated. I know that I slept with you. And so if I slept with you, it's a validational piece, because if I slept with you and you're around me, it proves that I'm still wanted. I'm not rejected by somebody. So if you reject me in my relationship, I won't feel it as much because I'm going to go to where I'm loved. Does that make sense? I'll say it again. When you are emotionally wounded, you've been neglected emotionally, not been taken care of, you haven't got the right attention from your parents, you weren't given what needed to be given, as a young child. And we can go deeper another time, right? What can happen is people can keep people around as validational statues. Okay? What we call validational statues. And these validational statues, what they are is people around you in your life that validate you and keep you feeling like you're not being rejected. And so you keep them around because if you get rejected in your relationship or you're feeling any type of rejection, you can go back to where you're validated. That's the emotional cheating we're talking about. Because now somebody else is your backbone and your safety, not your partner. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, type in the chat if it makes sense. If it makes sense in the chat, type in the chat. It makes sense. I need some water. All right? I'm going to get some water. Give me a second. I'm going to grab some water. And we're going to play some more. Okay? All right, cool. Someone said, absolutely, most women have a backup plan. Yeah, because most women are scared. Someone scratched their car. Yeah, because a lot of women are afraid of being in a relationship because a lot of women have been wounded. Right? That's the truth. A lot of women have a backup because they are wounded and they're afraid. So yes, we make this joke about, oh, women have a backup. No, the women that have backups are emotionally wounded. They have not healed. And they said, just in case, I can't trust a guy, I can't trust a man, men are liars, men are cheaters, you're still wounded. You're not healed. Okay? All right? You're not healed. So the reason why you've got those people in the backup place is because you don't when you go into love, you don't go into 100%. You go into 90, 80, 70. And this is why I say that it's not just men who got an issue, it's women got issue too. And it's not only men, women got issues too. Because when you find somebody that's decent, you can ruin your own relationship by doing certain little things. And you're not the one that's the worst person, you're not the craziest person, but you don't realize that you're not even giving yourself 100% in the relationship. You're not even realizing that you won't go all out for that party because you're afraid of being hurt. And then somebody's responding to that energy like, I don't know why I'm not getting 100%, but they're responding to your energy too. Right? So keeping a backup is a real big, if you're somebody who says they're in love, you're in a relationship, and you got people around you who you've had sex with, you got people that like you, that you know that you don't want them, but they're around you, right? You ain't got real true friendships around you. I'm going to tell you something, that you are afraid of being in love, and you're afraid of being scared, and so you are having backups as a backup plan, so that when the plan A fails, you don't feel the heat of falling out of that relationship. Right? So just this is a measure of checking your life. Look around you. This is why when I get into a relationship, certain people that I'm cool with, I'm like, you gotta go. Like, I'm sorry, we had sex. We can't be friends. And as I'm getting older, I'm realizing some of the people I slept with, I really shouldn't have slept with because now we can't be friends. And it's a shame, but now I can't be your friend. So yes, I don't need to be calling you. I don't need you to be calling me. You know what I'm saying to you? Unless you're booking a coaching session, you don't need to be calling me either. You know what I'm saying to you? So that's that part. Now let's deal with the actual aspect of the lying, okay? We're going to deal specifically with the lying, okay? We're going to deal specifically with the lying, okay? Because a lie. You get me?
Wait a minute.
Yep.
You're a little juicy over here.
Let's do it.
I met up with a girl and she was willing to talk about everything. They had sex in May. During this process,
We had sex in May, correct?
Now, Alonzo's got a little lying problem, okay? All right? Because you know what it was? It's not that he's just. I'm gonna be fair, okay? I'm gonna be fair. Again, I'm gonna say this correctly. I understand where he's coming from, right? From a dark perspective, I really do understand where he's coming from, because what happened was, and this is why I said about ego, and this is why I'm telling you that, listen, be very careful. Those of you who think you're smarter than anybody else in the world, be very careful, because what happened here is that Alonzo thought that the girl and Patrice would never really talk like that. Or the girl would never tell Patrice that information. Right? You thought your secret would stay safe. See, a lot of us sometimes believe that the other party that we're dealing with will be cool and say something and not say anything. But you don't know that other person has their own agenda. Sometimes they are jealous of your situation. Sometimes they don't care. Sometimes, do you know what? It's a slip up. You know? They asked the question a particular way and then they said it. you haven't told that girl maybe enough about Patrice either. Right? So what you have to realize is that when you hold a secret with two people, it's not a secret anymore. So you have to be ready for this thing ever getting out. Now, when you think you're smarter than everybody in the room, and you are prideful and said, "Well, I'm the big guy now, and if I'm here, no one can get me off." So I'm sorry, I just had to bounce my chest a little bit. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was cheeky of me. I apologize, guys. I didn't need to bounce my chest like that. But you think to yourself that no one's gonna catch you out, right? You think to yourself, if I keep it a secret, no one's gonna find out. I'm so smart. I play the game so smart, no one's gonna catch me out. And that's the same thing he did on his channel. When he came on here and I started questioning him, he started moving the goalposts. Right? And he started moving the goalposts because he thought he was smarter than everybody in the room. Oh, if I say choked or spanked, is it really sexual? Do you think you're the smartest person in the room? Do you think you're the only one that's an intellect? Right? When you think you're the only intellect in the room, that's how you get caught out. So at that point, he thought he was smarter than Patrice. I'm not saying that Patrice is, that he might not be. I don't know. But you thought you were smarter than Patrice, not knowing that she was going to actually have a conversation with this lady. Right? Now, unfortunately, you didn't do your due diligence. So now, at this point now, you see a conversation with Patrice now comes and tells us that he slept with a girl. And now he's like, yeah, I did. But why didn't you say that before? Why didn't you tell Patrice this, that you slept with her before? Why did you wait till now when you're being outed by Patrice and she was sitting there? And here, I want to show you something. I don't want to go too deep because I want to do a separate video for this, right? I want you to watch something, body language, okay? Watch this. Look at Patrice. I'm going to show you something. Look at Patrice's arms.
I pulled up at 10 o'clock and was like, "Hey, what you do?"
Okay, watch. Patrice's arms here, okay? Patrice's arms here are locked in. They're like this, okay? Now, I didn't know what was going to happen. I just noticed that her hands were like this. And I said, why is she's seeming a little bit stiff. What I didn't realize is she's not stiff. She's waiting. Right? Patrice was waiting. She said, keep on lying, nigga. Keep going. Let me see how far this nigga's gonna go. All right, keep going. All right, let's see how far you go. I want to see how far he's willing to go. He don't know I got bombs for him. Go on, keep going, keep lying, Alonzo. I'm gonna sit here and be cool. I thought it's because she was maybe feeling like she was hurt by the situation. No. She sat like this because she had bombs ready. Go on. When you're comfortable, yeah, go on, get yourself comfortable. Keep lying. I'm ready for you. Keep going. Yeah. You said, oh, okay, yeah. The girl's just a friend. Oh, you say she's just a friend. Okay. All right, cool. No. Listen, watch what's going to happen. This is about a minute later. I want to show you. About a minute later, watch the body language. So look, yeah. When she's decided, look what's going to happen. Okay. Now watch this.
For something you can pull up at any time.
I think
Boom. Now she's going to start. You see? Look. Now she started. She hasn't got there yet. But now she started. Because if you watch it from about 5 minutes on, it starts at 5:50. Her hands are like this. The first time she explains the situation, her hands are like this. The second time she comes to explain it, she said, oh, you still want to lie. You don't want to come honestly. All right, cool. Now the gloves are off. All right, cool. All right. I'm going to take this top off. Throw this wig off. All right, let me take the earrings out because you want to keep lying. All right, cool. All right, wig is off. Cornrows are showing. All right, brother. All right, where's my makeup pad? Okay. All right, makeup's coming off. All right, cool, because people want to lie. All right, cool. Now the hands come out, right? And you see her now gesticulating. What we call it gesticulate. When you explain something like I'm doing right now, you are gesticulating. So when you're talking, you show an expression through this. When you talk, you don't talk like this. Right? If someone's talking to you and they talk like this, they're holding something in. This is why they talk like this. So when you see me doing an interview, and I'll out myself, when you see me doing an interview and I go like this means I'm really paying attention to what you're saying right now. And I'm trying to critically analyze what you're saying. So when I sit like this, when I do this at an interview, know that I'm like, What am I hearing right now? I'm trying to really understand, and I'm trying to close off everything. So when I do this, I'm closing my body from everything around me. Energy, sound, the chat, everything. So when I go into this mode, it means I'm hearing something. I'm not sure what I'm really hearing. What am I hearing? Okay. When's the penny gonna drop? Okay. So you mean that when I do this, it means I'm in an open communication. I'm not trying to see anything. I'm just having a conversation with you. I'm just going back and forth, right? But when I do this, and you see me do this a lot, I'm like, or you see my face go, you know that I'm looking at a person. So now she starts gesticulating. Look what's gonna happen here. Now, I want Alonzo's head was down the whole entire time. That's why I knew he was lying. All right, he was like a scorned kid. His head was down when he's about to be told off. But look, watch this.
He's a bold-faced liar.
About what? Name just one thing. I promise you. About what?
Let me finish my side of this story.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
When someone is that cool and they say to you, let me finish my side of the story, it's because the evidence they got is irrefutable. Okay? At that point, the evidence that she has is irrefutable. You see, she didn't start getting angry and shouting. Right? She didn't start going, oh, you're a liar. She said, listen here, bold-faced liar. When someone says that, it's because they've got irrefutable evidence that cannot be disputed, nor can it be contradicted, nor can it be challenged. It's over. That is why she was so cool. Because whatever she had, she knew you can't break it. Okay? All right? That she was like, hold on. Hold on. Let me finish my story. Okay? All right? So she knows. At this point, it's irrefutable evidence. I cannot be challenged. Now watch this.
So what he does not know is that I met up with the girl that he...
Same girl?
Same girl.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
Same girl.
Now watch Alonzo behavior. Watch Alonzo behavior. Watch Alonzo behavior. Watch his behavior. He's there going, yeah, I know, yeah, okay, yeah. No, you don't know. Because if you knew, you would have known what she said. And you'd be ready for this. You'd have never lied. You didn't know. See, Alonzo, when he gets exposed, he tries to cover his back. But, oh, yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I already knew. You saw him in the background going, yeah, I knew that. I already knew that. Yeah, I already knew that was going on. Yeah, I already knew that. Yo, what's she about to tell you is nothing. Okay, what, she met with a girl? Yeah. If you knew, you would have not come and lied. You would have told the truth here first. And you'd have thought about a clever lie to bring to the table. If you knew you was about to be exposed, you'd have convicted, you'd have brought a clever lie. Like, let me sit there and be like, all right, why didn't I tell her that we slept together? Because I'm going to gaslight the situation. You know what? I'm afraid that she's going to get angry and blow up, and that, that friend that's been there for a long time for me, that's going to affect my friendship with that girl. Let me go with that story. So when I get there, they'll be like, hey, look, I understand why she was angry, because I can see that, obviously, oh, girl, I've slept with her before, and I know I didn't tell her, but I didn't tell her at the time because, you know what, I just don't want her to be angry, and we're in a safe place now, so I feel like I can tell you now, obviously, yeah, look, I had slept with her, but I didn't want nothing to go on between me and her, and that's the reason why I'm, like, saying it now. See, when you know someone's about to expose you, you can come out with a lie. You know what I'm saying? You can come out with a lie. But you don't have a lie ready because you weren't ready. So when you're doing this and this and this and this, you don't know nothing. Okay? All right? You're a young boy player and you got played. It's okay.
Yep.
You're a little juicy over there.
Let's do it.
Now pause. Now either they shot this scene twice. Okay? Either they shot this scene twice, or Alonzo, with your head down in your phone, it's not a good sign. Right? He's trying to keep composure. All right? He's trying to keep composure. Head down, head in phone, about texting or whatever.
Girl, and she was willing to talk about everything. They had sex in May. During this process...
we had sex in May, correct. We had sex in May.
So they had sex during the process. Sex in May and sex in the process. Woo-wee. Oh boy, you a damn liar. You were down. Even because she was like, oh, damn, baby.
You think she was just
So
your
you
friend?
said this was your friend girl.
No, Curry, it was.
Listen. Look at him. And look at Patrice. What does she do? Back to here again. My job is done. Oh, wait. When you are new to the game. Okay, yeah, he definitely texted a friend. He definitely texted that friend. When you're new to the game. She said, wait, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let me go back to my normal position because my job is done. Okay? My job is done. Right? And so, old boy now is left to be like, Look at her. She know the job done.
That was just, it was just one time.
I don't have sex with my friends. I ain't never.
Wait, hold on. I went too far. Sorry.
During this process,
We had sex in May, correct. We
but
had
you
sex in
just
May.
said she was just
So
your
you
friend.
said this was your friend girl.
No, Curry, it was. That was just.
It was. You see, and now he's like a little. Now he's like a little kid, trying to prostrate towards the dad, tell him, "No, dad, no, dad. Look, I know I got caught out, but look, dad, wait, dad, no, wait." And that's what I'm talking about, emotional immaturity, where it places you as a man or a woman. It makes you revert to your childhood tactics and ways. Like now you're remonstrating. But dad, look, that's not what. But dad, look, see, if you really want to go dark, and you really about that life, you just sat there and be like, you know what, you caught me. I can't even lie to you. Fair play. Is what it is. The game's the game. I got caught. That's what I'm trying to say to you. When you're really about this life of the game. When you are really that bastard, when you really are that nigga, when you are him, there's a certain way that you move. Like, see, that's when I knew that he's still new to the game. He's out here, no. No, your response should have been, yeah, you're right. You caught me. It is what it is. It is what it is. At the end of the day, you know, the game's the game. And that's it, done. Now, the reason why you do that is because the other person needs to see that you care. And he did. He cared too much about his reputation. At that point, you don't realize your reputation goes up when you decide to say, I don't care. If you really are that goon, you got to go all the way. Like, yeah, no, you're right. I got caught. But the game's the game. Right? The game's a game. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I was a bastard. My bad, Patrice. You get what I'm saying to you? My bad, Patrice. Everyone gonna say what they're gonna say to you, and you're gonna say to them, listen, but I don't care. See, that's the whole point of being in the darkness. And I keep saying it. Some of us, and that includes myself, we go into darkness because we want power. We don't realize the power that you're actually asking for. Many of us don't want to go all the way. See, if you're really going to go deep, you're going to have to go all the way. And when you go all the way, you lose yourself. Because you have to be so dark in what you're doing that there's a place that you go to, a place you don't recognize yourself. That's why most of us don't go to that place. We have a limit of how far we can go. Right? But it's because most of us don't really want to be dark. We just want to be loved. But we're afraid of being loved. So we have to find a way of having power so that we can protect ourselves. So you're using darkness and dark powers to accrue power. But eventually the dark power says, well, you got to sacrifice some more. I need you to sacrifice a bit more. Yes, sacrifice the fact that you are going to have a good reputation. Sacrifice it. Let it be done. You want to be cold? Be cold. So I'm telling you, for some of myself, there's a limit to how far I would have gone. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So at that particular point in time, when he decides that, oh, he's going to say what he's going to say, I hear it. Listen, I'm not mad at it. But at that point, now you're remonstrating. Now you're like, oh my God, guys, no. That's not how it looks. No. How else does it look? I slept with her in May. How else does it look?
It was just one time.
I don't have sex with my friends. I ain't never had sex with a friend.
It happened, bro.
I don't have friends like friends.
Everybody calm down. So,
See? So now you're saying like, I only had sex with her one time. But you didn't tell her that. That's the whole point. I only had sex one time. Like this is see, this is what I'm saying about when Alonzo thought he was smart. See, some of us have been playing this game since we were kids, right? Both men and women, okay, have been playing this game since they were kids, so they're not foolish. You know when people tell you that they're your friend. Many of us are very smart now to a point where we've witnessed certain behaviors. We know when people are lying about friendships. You know how you know? You watch people's behaviors. You watch how they interact, right? You see how they move. And maybe for you, maybe you don't feel no way about it, but you can see the other person moving, right? This is why I personally, if I slept with somebody, I'm not about to be a friendship up in this thing and try to bring you around my girl, because one of us is going to show up. One of us is going to be a problem. I may be a problem because my ego, and this is where you have to understand when you move in a space of emotional woundedness and you play these games, what you don't account for is the ego. What you don't account for is what the ego wants. What you don't account for is the pride that you carry, especially as a man, the pride you carry. You know, one of the prides that will get you locked up in a situation is when you don't care about that girl, but now she's saying she don't care about you either. She's acting too cool around your girl. Whoa, 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 whoa. She's acting too cool now. Now your pride is like, wait, does she not ever want me? Wait. Is she not pressed? Is she not feeling me a little bit? Wait. So she isn't feeling me no more. You mean she's actually good? Oh, you mean she's actually okay? Now you don't care about this girl at all. What you do care about is your pride and your ego. And your pride and ego will snake you before you do. And now you feel uncomfortable. Now, let's say you and your girl and her getting close. Now you're like, wait, why are you getting close to her? She's not even cool like that. Now you're talking and saying things, and your girl's gonna be like, wait, what's going on? See, you are going to get yourself locked up. This is why you don't have to keep people around. Don't keep them around. It don't end well. It never does. The ego will always play you. Because even if you don't want them, the ego says, wait, we're not wanted by that person? See, most of us who play these games are already wounded. So when that message comes across your mind, wait, they don't want me? You mean they don't want me no more? You mean they're actually over me? Or maybe she sees you and sees that you're too comfortable. Or maybe she sees that you like your girl way too much. You mean to tell me you're giving her all of these benefits, but you gave me half of that? Suddenly, her ego, her jealousy starts to kick up. Now she's going to start acting some type of way. See, this is why I said this game is fluffed. And if you play it long enough and you see it, you know what it looks like. So you can pretend and be like, nah, we're going to be good, we're going to be cool. I know we're going to say nothing. You don't know what your ego and her jealousy and her ego is going to do. Your pride versus her jealousy, it's a carnage. It's a carnage. It will bring you out. I'm telling you, don't do it. Okay? All right? That Jacqueline, see? Now, Jacqueline, now we've got a real question here. Now, Jacqueline, you've asked a really good question. If the girl didn't have feelings for him, why would she tell Patrice what happened? There's a reason she was still around doing things for him. Thank you. Thank you. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Right? So in these situations, real questions have to be asked. You know what I'm saying to you? Questions gotta be asked. Why is it that she told Patrice? Why would a girl snitch? What for? You don't even realize. Actually, look. You don't even realize about the one that gets people killed. There's another one that gets people killed. Another thing that gets people killed in this game is the ego of, here are my trophies. See, I always tell you this, that, when like, for instance, they talk about serial killers, right? And sorry, trigger warning if anybody's got anybody who has gone through that, I do apologize. But like a serial killer, right? Once he gets away with 1 or 2 or 3, that killer then starts leaving clues behind. Because their ego is now saying that now I wanna be known. See, beforehand it was about getting away with it. Now it's about I want to be known. The ego of that person is about now I want to be known for how good I am. So if you know you can sleep with that girl and keep her close, now you want to be able to, and this is why we know it's a devil. Oh, I don't want to go too deep, but let's go deep. Let's go deep. The reason why dark arts, and I'm telling you about this, the reason why it ends up with manipulation and why it is of the devil, I'm just saying to you, but it's real. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I've done it before, and I've done it for a very long time, and I know what it looks like. When you're emotionally broken, reason why it looks like the devil is playing the game is because what ends up happening is, just like the devil, he always wants to say, I don't exist, but I exist. Right? The devil loves that. He's like, I don't exist, but I exist. So what he will do is, no, I don't exist like this, but I do exist when I show you evil things and witchcraft, and I put it into films in a very fluffy way, and you're like, oh my God, that's so fluffy. But that's his way of telling you I exist. Right? When you see a villain in a show, why is it the villain's always the crux of that villain is that he has to tell you that his plan? Why is it the villain always has to tell you, when you watch these villains in comic books especially, hey, here's my plan. I'm about to do this to you. Ha 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 ha. Thanos, the same thing. Well, look, I'm going to kill half the world. Da, 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 da. Why? Because it's no longer enough that I do this thing. It is now that I must show the world that I'm going to do this thing. But they don't realize where that comes from. It comes from pride. Okay, and that's the very thing that took Satan down from heaven to earth, or to hell, if you want to call it that way, right? That's the very thing that threw him out of heaven. It was his own pride and conceitedness that took him out of that place. So now, whenever you are playing this game, like I've played it before, many people have played it before, you're playing the player game or whatever, you think you can play people, really and truly, it gets to a point where you're no longer satisfied with just playing the game. Now you got to let people know that you are the ish. So you make dumb mistakes. So you start doing things that start showing people, this is my trophy. Right? Now, like, if a guy is sleeping with hundreds of women, and you're like, wait, hundreds of women? I don't believe you. Then he starts with, like, let me show you what girl I slept with. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da. Why? Because he has to prove that he is what he was. Right? So, Alonzo, all right? Alonzo is someone who has emotional wounds, but he's a liar. And he has to hold that L. Like, it's destructive.
Yes, yes.
You've given this young lady a key to your home.
Absolutely.
And you're saying that we have a one-on-one relationship. You can't have somebody who you've been with take you to the store to get nothing.
Why not?
Why are you?
He's like, why not? This is exactly the same thing with spanked and choked. He thinks he's too smart for his own good. He thinks he's too smart for his own good. He thinks he's way too smart. And so now his excuse is, why not? We're always talking about men and women can't be friends. Nah, Negro. That's not what we're talking about. Okay? That's not what we're talking about. What we are talking about is the fact that you personally, okay, refuse to tell Patrice that you had slept with this girl and that's why she's around you, and warned her. You didn't even warn her. Right?
You can't ask her to take you to the store.
Why can't I? Why can't I? If we don't have nothing going on and we're grown-ups and I've let her know exactly what it is, I have not done anything wrong at all. The
immaturity on Alonzo is crazy. He gonna have to come on here and explain himself, because that's crazy. Right? You've crossed the line with that friend. They're no longer your friend. Like, look, can I say something? Like, I want to be real with you, right? Don't get it twisted. We all have, let me not say all, a lot of us have lived different lives, innit? So, like, for instance, like I said, I've been on the last 3 years, I've been on the streets, and I've met some really cool women. I've met some really great women and ended up sleeping with them. Yeah? Now, here's the thing. I can't call you a friend if I got a girl. No, I can call you a friend outside, but I can't call you a friend when I've got a relationship. Because at that point in time, now we've crossed the line. And what's to say we won't cross it again? right? What's to say we wouldn't cross it again? So at this point in time, we can't trust what you're saying. We can't trust what you're doing. We can't trust what you're about. Because in reality, you have crossed that line with a friend. They're not your friend. Now, the reason why you're going to say friend is because you feel like maybe you got some control, but maybe also you feel like also too, if I say they're not a friend, then I can't keep them around. No, we understand that you have people that are really cool with. We get it, but they got to go. Once you get a girl, they've got to go. It's done. Right? Once you got a girl or a guy, it's done. That is no longer the friend. Okay? At that point, that is no longer the friend. So, yeah. Listen, I'm not going to say any more about this. Like I said, I was only going to deal with Alonzo and Alexis. Join us tonight because we're going to be on Super Panel. And we're going to have a great conversation there. Shout out to Minx as well. Thank you for joining the membership. Oh, very pretty, very, very beautiful. Okay, let me stop. Holy Spirit, I'm changed. And shout out to Maggie too for becoming members as well. We appreciate y'all. And shout out to 800 people in the room as well. We had 800 of you guys who joined us today. We're going to be on later on tonight, okay? All right, we're going to be on later on tonight. Probably going to be around about, I think, 8. Is it 8 p.m.? I think it's going to be 8 p.m. Because I think it's 1 o'clock. Is that 8 p.m. for you guys? 8 p.m. EST? 8 p.m. EST, okay? So 8 p.m. EST, guys, as well. So we'll be back again for the Super Panel, as well. You know what I mean? Trey Mac said he refers to them as coitus. After coitus has happened. I tell him myself, that's why I refer to them as associate after, because coitus has happened. Absolutely. Get me. Yeah. Because some people call you a friend, you're not a friend. Like, I'm not calling you a friend if I've done mess with you like that. When I got a girl, I have to be honest with you. As well. Patrice's choices. Yeah, we'll talk about, I'll do a video separate for that, guys. Don't worry. I'll do a separate video because we know Patrice was moving mad. You know what I'm saying to you. But shout out to you guys. Much love. Appreciate you. We'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.